Hey, what's up? So, um, today is my, like I said, 10th day of, not smoking, focusing on raising my vibration and, retaining my sacred fluid. All right. So, not releasing any, kind of semen, which to me is creative energy, sacred energy, and life force. But my method to get to this point where I'm at least in a point to where it actually works and it wasn't difficult and it wasn't stressful, was to deal with it from a different perspective in a different way than I usually do. Which previously it was difficult. I had it in my mind. I said, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop this. I'm not gonna smoke anymore. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna cut this out. And by the end of the day, or a couple of days, end of the week, whatever, like Friday night, you want to hang back, I'm just like, I'm gonna just smoke what I want to smoke. um Instead of focusing on not smoking, I had to attach a lot of different things to this habit and really change my mindset, how I looked at it, um and how I went about the whole process to elevate up to a different level. I heard somebody in a video, it's like Aaron Dudery or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, as I went to the gym, when I was exercising, working out, I was listening to a lot of different people's stories. And that's one thing that kind of helped keep me motivated. But one thing that really stuck out was one particular person. I always thought, okay, it's making me more creative, or it's making me feel better, bringing me up from my current vibration, which that wasn't the case. Because when you do smoke, he was saying you get to this level of acceptance and, you just kind of at peace with whatever is going on. But they're higher levels than that. So it was levels of joy, levels of enlightenment, levels of bliss, etc. So each time I smoked, I was looking at myself as bringing my level back down to this acceptance level when I actually wanted to raise higher and higher. So that's one thing mentally that kind of kept me in the loop. I'm like, okay, each time I do this, my level is still kind of high, but I'm bringing it back down to a certain level. And then, the effects of it wears off. So even after that acceptance level, you're going down lower and lower. Um, that was one thing. Another thing was I noticed that it was a feeling that I got when I wanted to smoke. So it was something that either made me uncomfortable, something like, in my chest, or just some kind of anxiety or something. It was just telling me, like, yeah, let me just go ahead and smoke. I feel this way to avoid this. Let me go ahead and smoke. And that also is like I'm dependent on something. So instead of me having the ability to channel my own emotions and deal with how I'm feeling, I'm now relying on this substance to do it, which essentially is making my ability to manage and handle my emotions weaker. So I essentially looked at it as, okay, each time I do this, I'm letting this substance do something for me, as opposed to raising my own emotional intelligence, emotional frequency up, which is, men, is not something we pay attention to. It's not something that we think that we have to deal with, but everybody has emotions. And the more you rely on something else, the less that you're able to handle it. And if you don't have that substance, you're blowing up. Same thing with my mindset. I'm telling myself, okay, this is making me more creative. This is helping me do this. This is helping me do that. False. Okay. Didn't need it. Put that in my head that, again, when I'm using the substance, I'm relying on this. to give me creativity and to give me a boost in my brain. All right. So that's kind of the mindset that I had going into it. And then also I had the mindset of, okay, I'm not just gonna stop. I have to consciously and forcefully kind of push this substance out of my system. So I've been dealing with herbs for a well, not really long time, but maybe about 3 years or so. And each year I'm getting more herbs. Started with just kind of the basic herbs that you can kind of, buy online or grow. And then, within last year, I started tapping into sacred medicine. Um, Sacred medicine, when I say sacred medicine, I'm talking about real deal, shamanistic, ancient herbal brews. All right. Ancient, really strong medicine. So we talking, ayahuasca, iboga, um, peyote, different things like that. I haven't tapped into all of them, but I have started tapping into sacred medicines. Clear your system out, clear your energy out, clear your mind out, and actually kind of reset you completely as far as all of your bodily function and everything is concerned. It's almost like a full energetic reset, physically pushing everything out. All of these things kind of help me get to the point. But, I didn't go through a sacred ceremony for this particular time, but I did pump myself with herbs. And some of the herbs that helped me, um, first, waking up, cut the coffee out, because what happens is people say marijuana isn't addictive, but there is a physical, I'm sorry, not a physical, but there is a mental component to it. There is a mental addiction. So anything that makes you feel good, smoking, okay, when you smoke, you get what is called dopamine. You get a dopamine rush. All right. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter um, that makes you feel good. So when you smoke, that substance is giving a rush to your brain that says, this feels great, this feels good. And you get attached to the feeling of that dopamine rush. Now, with dopamine, if you're relying again on a substance to get this dopamine, your body's going to say, well, you know what, this is, we getting this extra dopamine from this substance that's being inhaled into the body, so I don't need to produce it myself. And then what happens is, again, your body becomes weaker because you're relying more and more on something else and is not producing the dopamine the way that it should. How we naturally produce dopamine: exercise, procreation. So when you have sex or when you ejaculate, your body is saying, okay, I just made a baby, so I just made a new human, I'm surviving. uh, you know Dopamine increase. Back in the ancient times, when people used to hunt, get food, when we cook, a lot of different things can naturally slowly produce dopamine. Music, a lot of different things. So, coffee, coffee creates a slight dopamine rush. So, what I kind of did is almost like a dopamine fast. All right, I didn't listen to a lot of music. Didn't drink coffee for the first few days. Just really kind of tried to chill and mellow out, and at the same time pump myself with a lot of herbs. So first thing getting up, green tea and matcha powder. All right, the green tea give you a slight caffeine thing, but not an instant kind of boost, but a little bit of a longevity kind of thing. Matcha powder is very good for your brain and your mind to kind of jumpstart and get your day going. Um, Throughout the day, I was drinking a lot of teas for detox. So I was doing a lot of red clover, elderberry, black seed, not black seed oil, but just the regular black seed by itself. And at night, I was doing like chamomile teas, passion flower, a lot of different things to clean out, and then a lot of different things to kind of calm the heart and reduce any type of anxiety. I didn't feel it as much, but a good thing to do, because again, it's a feeling. You know, feelings come and go just like thoughts or anything else. So if I did feel, a little tense or a little, I don't want to smoke, or a little uncomfortable, I actually just sat with it for a little bit, about a minute or two, and then it passed. But like I said, this time for some reason it was just very, very effortless, because it was so many different things that I was doing. I was using crystals. So um, black tourmaline, because I'm a magician. You know what I'm saying? I practice the occult, so I use anything to tap into the deeper components of my mind. So when I went to sleep, I was using black tourmaline. I had this next to my pillow, and also amethyst. So this, helps with a lot of spiritual things, and it helps you remove addictions. So this was underneath my pillow. This I was we would either hold in my hand or have on like the side of my pillow, but this kind of helps remove any kind of negativity. Um, and then I was just constantly keeping my focus, not on not smoking, but raising my vibration up to a certain level. I was eating good foods, exercising heavily. I already exercised, but I was really focusing on really trying to sweat, sitting in a sauna, getting all that I could out of the marijuana, and putting a lot of things in that was also helping me push these things out, because it is a mental thing, and it's not easy, because it's not crack, it's not heroin, it's not cocaine, it's not anything that people see as dangerous, and you don't see the effects as much, but you definitely feel them when you off of them, and you kind of notice like, hey, this is where everything was headed. I'm kind of glad that I stopped. So, I hope this helps somebody kind of get through whatever they trying to get through, in order to really step it up another level. Because like I said, 2020 is going to be amazing. It already has been amazing for me. The energy's been great. Been really just focusing on pushing myself, pushing my mind up to higher heights, building upon my already vast imagination, and just creating the reality that I want. Seeing everything from a subjective point of view, and really trying to help other people raise up so that they can realize that, you can do anything. Like, there's no cap to reality. And that's what I kind of learned with the herbs. Like, once I really started focusing on my health and really trying to look for alternative methods other than just using, or just going to the doctors and listening to what they say, taking their medicines that cause other problems, I looked for answers. And when I found them, it never stopped. It just keeps coming. And now herbs that I didn't even think that I could get, or herbs that uh seem that I didn't even know of, are coming in. And the more knowledge that I seek, the more answers that I find. And it really opened me up to allow me to feel and believe like, man, reality is not what we think it is, and it's limitless. It's endless of what we can do, what we can accomplish, and what we're going to see in this lifetime. So, wishing everybody a whole bunch of peace, abundance, prosperity, love, joy, health, growth, and just all things good that are going to help you push forward and enjoy your life the way you want to. So, peace.